Good morning. Thank you. Let's all settle down. We also have some online participants. I think it's only fair to try and start on time for the benefit of everybody. Last year I joked about African time, which I only experience in London. We are never, ever, ever late in Africa. And here we are, experiencing Africa time in London. So with that rude opening comment, you have had your first taste of my equal offender approach. By the end of the day, you should all be feeling offended in some shape or form. I really appreciate it when Mark Tofani is first, because him and I go way back. I mean, you know, he's been rude to me, I can be rude to him, we set a tone, and then the conference flows. My name's Bernard Swanepoel. I am chairing the third edition of the London Indaba on behalf of Paula Mansi and Resources for Africa. It is a platform that we established in Joburg to have authentic, proper conversations that are relevant to the mining industry. I think there we may have done 12 or 13, and out of that has come a whole host of platforms, including the London Indaba. The London Indaba, despite my very clear English accent, or is it an Afrikaans accent, is not about South Africa. The London Indaba is about mining in Africa. So when a South African miner complains about potholes or Escoms, we will frog march them out and expose them to Zimbabwe, where there are no potholes because there are no roads. So we'll try and have the conversation about mining. This is not a conversation with an agenda. It is a fantastic time to be mining. It's a challenging time. I mean, it's an industry with a long legacy. A lot of us in this room will say a good legacy, but we all know there are lots of people outside this room who will not be celebrating the legacy of mining for a whole host of reasons. That is behind us. In front of us are amazing opportunities and reasons to mine. One of the key challenges we will talk about is what is Africa's role in the future of mining? And it's obvious. It's a huge continent. It's over 50 countries. There are fantastic ore bodies. Mark even left a few of them for us. But similarly, obviously, we also need to then understand, so if mining is important to Africa, how do we make Africa important to mining? Africa, I don't have to explain in this time zone. If this was in New York, I would say, guys, you know where Africa is, and people would not know. And I would say, you know, Africa is not a country, and they wouldn't know that. But we're in this time zone, you know Africa is not far from here. We know it's actually multiple countries with very, very different approaches. And so unpacking that, I think, is going to make for fantastic conversations. We wake up in the morning and we see who bombed whom, or who declared a ceasefire, which he may or may not have told the other parties of. We live in flippant, amazingly mad times. I'm not sure if we took the X account or truth account from Donald Trump away, whether the world will be safer. But my God, it will be simpler now. I mean, we will not know what he's thinking or not thinking, and that alone would make life a little bit simpler. Now, in the 2 days, we're going to unpack with chairpersons, with politicians, with CEOs, what does it take to run a mining company, and what does it take to run multinational mining companies in this world? Do you look to the US and Europe as potential customers and partners, or do you continue to play the pit-to-port strategy and sell to China, who will buy whatever you do? Those are real choices. Those are choices that are being made in boardrooms today as we speak. We try and make the conversation relevant by allowing the audience and the online participants to participate. We've got a Slido platform, which we had to discover during COVID, and it's worked so well that we've continued to use it. It is a platform through which everybody can put their questions through to the speaker. I typically moderate the questions, and that way there's proper audience involvement through Q&A. We also use Slido for the odd poll. We may decide that this minister sounds like he's making a political rally speech, and a lot of it sounds like bullshit, so we may just pause for a moment and say, excuse me, let's just check with the audience whether what is currently being said sounds a bit too much like nonsense. Is it okay to say bullshit in London? I'm not sure. I'll test it and see if anybody walks out, then I'll stop saying it until then. So we do a bit of a zero bullshit check-in from time to time, just to keep the conversations honest and relevant. Politicians relax. I also do this to CEOs. So I'm an equal offender. Everybody will get treated fairly. For us to kickstart, I forgot to welcome you all. You're all welcome. Sponsors, where are they? Geez, these are the people who made this possible. I can't believe we got Valterra on board. I mean, it's a little platinum company from Africa now. This must be your first outing here, Craig. Well done. Is this your coming out party? So we're going to celebrate the new kids on the block. It's fantastically important for a platform like this to be funded by the industry so that these conversations can be for the industry. I truly appreciate everybody who made this possible. My last job before I introduce Mr. Mark Tofani is to ask you all to take up this little thing that you've got, QR code. Mark, don't look so confused. I mean, this is where you look for a child or a young person next to you to help you. You point your camera at the QR code. It gives you a little link. The link says qr.slide.do. Click on that link. That then takes you through to a practice poll question. It is practice, so don't get offended by the question. It's just a relaxed, fun question. As soon as it comes up, I will read it to you so that you can see it. Is it not coming up on the screens? If everybody got it, Paula, is it on yours? Okay, so throughout the conference, we'll from time to time check in and say, so which geopolitical event did you not have on your 2025 bingo card? The South African team winning the ICC World Chess Championship, obviously India, Australia, and England corrupted cricket. That was never meant to happen. So that was a surprise. Did you see it coming? Israel outsourcing their bombing campaign to the USA. Look, I never saw that coming. Perhaps I'm just naive. The art of war outselling the art of the deal. I think it's clear one of those books was actually written by the author. And then the UK Prime Minister lasting longer than a crop of lettuce. Which one of those things did you just not see happen in 2025? Unfortunately, there's no option for all of the above. So we don't take ourselves too serious. No. We stir a little bit. That was practicing. Only 73 people got it right so far. It's also an IQ test. We dumb down the conversations according to the participation of the audience. We may have to dumb it down a lot. We've got more online people online now than the participants. One more person found the button. Come on, people, you can do this. It's not so hard. Okay, so 82 people. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. I don't know, perhaps our next question will be controversial. Perhaps we can test another question, if that's okay. We also do this sort of yes or no type of questions, where you've got a binary sort of answer. So perhaps we can give one of those questions a go. The term critical mineral is a misnomer, as all mined minerals are by definition critical. If you need help, just look for somebody younger than you, okay? It's really not hard. I don't know where you're going to find somebody younger than you are. I must say, I personally smile, and if you've read 23 countries' critical mineral definitions, you get a bit cynical. I mean, critical is either what we have, or it is what we don't have, or it's what we need for war, or it is copper, if you're a copper miner. We even have gold miners who think gold is critical. So the definition of critical, I think, is an interesting one, and I'm sure we will unpack that in the day, during the day. We've got a nice split audience. This seems to be the story of the world now, no? Everything is split in the middle. A more serious question, perhaps. Can we perhaps go to a question which I think feeds into today's conversation? The key issue facing the mining industry in Africa. Now, you can answer it as an investor, you can answer it as the lawyer, the banker, or the mining CEO. From your perspective, is it the escalating tension between the US and China? Is it supply chain disruptions, either because of tariffs or because of armed conflict? The challenge of higher inflation and what seems to be an environment of a weaker dollar. I can tell you, if you're a miner in South Africa, that's a disaster, loading. No? Operating in a country caught between national self-interest and China and USA's selfish interest. Which one of those do you think is the key issue from your perspective? The final question, we're not really waking up the audience here yet, but perhaps I should just give a few more seconds. Thank you, very interesting. The final question before we start the official proceedings. Governments in African countries should. Now, there's a lot of things they should do, but I've picked 4 sort of mining industry-related things. Focus on the new money, like Saudi and perhaps sovereign wealth funds. Choose your new slave masters. Are we happy, to pursue the US markets with all the nonsense that comes with that? Or should we just continue to ship our ore to China? Could and should Africa coordinate themselves into economic blocks? And don't tell me they have. I'm talking about real ones that actually exist, not only a name. And then obviously, very topical, how to create an enabling environment for midstream value adding and localization. Another topic that I must say I've heard of for 45 years, and I'm not sure I've seen much where I come from. So I'm hoping that these are the types of topics that will get some air. I'm hoping that real people with feet on the ground, facing the real challenges, will share perspectives. I'm hoping that there will be very little groupthink. I'm hoping that nobody is here thinking my view is the right view and your view is stupid, but that we're all prepared to air our views and perhaps all leave thinking slightly differently. That is why it's always fantastic to abuse Mark Tofani to give us an opening speech. He speaks his mind. He has been forthright. I'm not sure he's quite as great as he thinks he is, but he's quite good. Some will say. I used to introduce him as my second favorite Australian, but I've met a few more Australians, so he dropped off that list as well. But he is truly somebody who has seen mining in Africa and beyond. But because this is a conference about mining in Africa, a real privilege to have you back, Mark, and thank you very much for coming to give us an opening keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Tofani.